Well, everyone, welcome back to the West Ham Network. You've just witnessed West Ham get beat 3-1 away at the I can't even say the name of the stadium, mate. The Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. Matt, just give me your kind of brief thoughts initially before we start to dissect the game a little bit. I mean, anyone watched
two
it?
Changes. Fabianski back in. Everyone expected. Fornals out, Masuaku in, which no one expected.
Yeah.
And you know what? I think most of us are willing to give Moyes the benefit of the doubt because he's the manager. But as we get into it, it did not work. Like, no. Fornals eventually come on for him. He done more in the little time he was on than Masuaku did for the time he got. It was probably as expected, highlighting the fact we don't have a lot of room for rotation. And it was a leggy performance.
What do you think of the Tottenham lineup that they put out today then?
They didn't make any changes either.
Yeah. But
they played 90 minutes on Wednesday, whereas we played 120 minutes on Thursday.
And we looked...
that's probably their best team available right now.
Yeah.
I say right now, they had options on the bench. That's probably their best team they play, and the way Conte wants them to line up. It's a solid team. Yeah. And like we said, they're very Tottenham. They turn up some games and some games they don't. You didn't know until the game started. And the game started, and unfortunately, it was all as we expected. We were very leggy.
Yeah. Especially at the start, dramatically leggy, yeah. I mean,
out
really
of the blocks,
leggy.
Tottenham were buzzing about, nipping the ball about.
But in theory, you know, we're coming off, and this is what makes defeats harder, is because we've seen such a vibrant, exciting victory over Sevilla, a very hard-fought, good win over Aston Villa, and then a lackluster performance today. But equally, though, like you said, mate, very leggy. We don't have the strength and depth, so therefore, players that played 120 minutes, 115 minutes, 100 and whatever minutes were 3 days later thrusted back into a high competitive game in a London derby away from home.
Yeah. I said in the preview it could be a leggy game. I was hoping we might have enough tactically to see them off. I thought playing away from home against a Spurs team that struggled to break teams down, Moyes would have gone for a low block.
Yeah,
but we didn't press high, but we didn't low block either. Like we just got caught in between the two. Yeah. Like we weren't pressing there at the centre backs. The couple times we did, they were making mistakes, but we never done it enough. And then the flip side, we were sitting back till like 30, 35 yards out, and then we were pressing.
Yeah.
But so it wasn't like we played a low block. We didn't play low block. We didn't play a high press. We sort of got caught somewhere in the middle, didn't know what we were doing. It's almost like bringing Masuaku in. Like, just threw everyone else off. No one knew what they were doing.
Yeah.
And it was a Masuaku mistake that brought the first goal.
Well, just about to say in the ninth minute, you know, the ball gets played through to Masuaku. He's dispossessed really easy. There's a run down. I think is it Doherty that makes a breaking run down the right hand side.
I don't know if it was our goal kick or we regained possession, but we were playing out from the back. And Creswell, and I feel sorry for Creswell here because this is a ball that he plays. I don't want to exaggerate, but I want to say like 100 times a game.
Yeah,
like it's the pass that he picks it up on the wing and he just feeds it down the touchline into the winger where they're back to the player and they control it, and it normally ends up going back to Creswell and they go back the other way again. And Fornals does it all the time. Benrahma does it all the time. He feeds it into Masuaku. Masuaku, completely no awareness of anyone else on the pitch, just slowly starts jogging towards the ball. And they showed you a replay at half time, and when the ball first gets played, Doherty is about 10 yards behind Masuaku. And he full pelts reads it, bundles Masuaku off the ball, no strength from Masuaku, no attempt to win it, no. And then 2 passes later, it gets in. I think it's Kulusevski that cuts it across for Son.
Yeah.
And Son misses it. And this is how our game went. It was a luck of, we didn't get the luck of the green today. We really didn't, because if we did, it would have probably finished 1-1.
Yeah.
The ball gets played across. Son misses it. Zuma's basically sliding in to try and block Son's cross. Hits him on the knee or the shin, and then like bounces up and over Fabianski into the back of the net. And 9 minutes in, your game plan's out the window.
Yeah, it
It's
really
done.
is.
But we didn't
Yeah.
react to it. The next 20 minutes were exactly the same.
Well, I mean,
Tottenham
but
getting in.
they were to a certain extent. I mean, immediately we could have
We
had a
had an
chance
instant
back.
reaction
We had
for
an
one
instant
chance.
reaction with Antonio, and he did break them down, and you know we really could have put that game back on an equal heel, but we didn't. Antonio broke away from the defense and he shot. I think it was a back pass from Harry Kane that was dispossessed by Antonio. He totally done Doherty. When, early on, mate, 10 minutes into the game, an opportunity to put that deadlock, but we couldn't take the chance. And that's really been all about West Ham season, hasn't it, really? Is lack of the ability to take our chances.
We spoke about it at half time, and I said, you know what? It sums Antonio up. That his attributes got him to that position because it was a came back pass into Dyer that was short.
Yeah.
And Antonio's pace and power got the ball off him, got him in front, and he's shot for the far post. It's gone inches wide. Kane in that position would bury that 10 times out of 10.
Yeah.
But I don't think Kane would have got to that position because it was his explosive pace and his physicality that won the ball back.
Yeah.
But that was really the only chance for the first 35 minutes. And at points I was thinking, you know what? But we were saying this looks like the game last season all over again. Tottenham were going through us at will. I said I don't want to pick him out, but I don't know what Masuaku's job was. He wasn't really doing much. He had one cross into the box in the first half, I think, and that was cross. Didn't beat the first man. Didn't go about 3 foot off the floor. The only positive thing he done was he won the corner for the goal.
Yeah.
Which was just like a Creswell ambled long ball behind the fullback down the channel, and Masuaku pressured him and it went out for a corner.
Yeah.
And
but then, do you know what
nothing,
though? But before that though, mate, what actually happened was, Tottenham went 2-0 up in the 23rd minute. Kane spot a really good run from Son. He played the ball in behind Zuma. He steadies himself, tries his luck from 15 yards. It's a decent strike. It takes another nick off of Zuma. It goes into the back of the net. Yeah, and we're 2-0 down, mate. We're 2-0 down inside 23 minutes. At that point, you're thinking, oh, shit, this is when you're really starting to compare the game from this season to last season, aren't you?
It was bizarre. Like, someone in the comments on the live stream said that for the fact we're playing 5 at the back, we're actually more open than when we played 4 at the back.
Yeah.
It's almost like the centre backs weren't happy, didn't know what they were doing, which bear in mind we've done it against Wolves with 4 hours in that position and left wing back. And it worked really well. He didn't know what he was doing. And he said Kane threads this brilliant ball through. Zuma thinks, you know what, I've pushed him out wide, I've done what I can, throws himself across. And like I said, we didn't get the rub of the green today. On another day, that first goal, Son misses it, Zuma misses it, he runs across the 6-yard box and gets cleared. The second goal, Zuma chucks a leg out of it, and you're thinking, yeah, that's brilliant. And it clips his boot, clips his shin, and just gives it the top spin again to just go up and over. It wasn't a looping one because it still went quick and flat, but it just gave it a bit of top spin.
What was it?
When you get them dipping shots, and it just dipped over the top of Fabianski, and you're thinking,
what was it with our defence, especially in the first half, mate? I felt like, I know we were leggy, I know they played a lot of game time, but they really couldn't really contrive 2 passes together. And Zuma's passes, particularly in the first 10, 15, 20 minutes, were really like breaking leg tackle, forcing the mistake in Dawson, forcing the mistake in Fabianski. It was definitely.
I don't know. I said no one really settled. And like I said, I don't know if it was the fact that he put Masuaku in there that threw everyone else off, because for like 30 minutes, 35 minutes in the first half, the defence just did not know what they were doing. They just didn't. Yeah. They were like, "What?" I said, considering we had three centre backs apparently on the pitch, we were just wide open. But also, you give Tottenham credit because Moyes' tactic is the low block, and then sometimes we'll do spells of a couple of minutes where we'll press higher, and then we go back into our low block. I said they couldn't do it for large parts. They couldn't, but they didn't need to. The first half, for the majority of the first half, Tottenham pressed high. They did not give us any time on the ball. They forced us to play it long. And unfortunately, unlike against Seville, when Antonio was holding the ball up really well, sucking 2-3 players in, laying it off for someone else, today it didn't stick. I don't think a single one stuck to him.
Yeah.
I think we spoke about it. I don't know if it was start the second half or in the first half where the ball gets cleared into him. I think Rice made the run beyond him, and he tried to control it and turn in one go and just lost the ball, and they were Tottenham ball again. And you're like, that's where he needs to hold the ball up, but he wasn't doing it. So Tottenham were just like, well, he's not holding the ball up. Flood the three attackers forward, let them go and press the back three, push the fullbacks up to mark our fullbacks. So you go fullback to fullback, Kane, Son, and Kulusevski to mark our back three. Basically went man to man, high press marking, and we could not handle it. And the only option was Antonio or Souček. If Souček didn't win the header, the ball comes straight back again. And it did look at times that first half that it was going to be a long game. But then we got back into it. It was a nothing ball down the corner flag, and Masuaku, in fairness to him, pressured. One of the times we actually pressured up the pitch, pressured Doherty, and Doherty made the mistake. It went out for a corner. Whipped in, Dawson, I'm assuming he was going for goal, but gets something on it. And then there was a very composed volley at the back post by Benrahma. A very difficult technique, but he gets his head over it, gets his knee over it, put it in the bottom corner.
But at that point, though, mate, you know, you can't deny that West Ham were starting to. But even before that, you know, we had a run of like corners, we had a run of set pieces, and it was starting to cause Tottenham a bit of concern. And I think at the time, I remember saying to you at the time, I was like, you know what, good time for West Ham. I think we had a run of a couple of corners. Good time for West Ham to try and get, you know, a goal now, 10, 15 minutes before half time. And then if we could go on and get another goal before half time, then we'll go in with momentum. But like you said, mate, I mean, we are the set piece. We do know how to do a set piece, and fair play to Dawson. You know, we tried to go for the header, flicked it on to Benrahma. Benrahma used his finesse, his ability, and his talent to put the ball into the bottom right hand side of that net. 2-1 to Tottenham, and game on at that point. And it was really game on at that point. And we kind of had a couple of chances, but nothing major really. And it went in at half time, and Tottenham were up 2-1. Do you think that killed the momentum at that point?
Yeah. We were in the ascendancy coming into the end of the first half. And, like, you know, it's one of them times where half time come really wrong at the wrong time. And then the start of the half, Tottenham were like beating in the ascendancy. And then we had that really weird situation that just killed off. It took about 4 or 5 minutes to sort it out for no apparent reason whatsoever.
Yeah.
And that at the start of the second half really just killed the game.
Yeah.
You know, Tottenham were on the attack. I think this one of the times the Tottenham did have a good chance. Kane got in behind, I want to say Zuma, 1-on-1. And I think Fabianski saves it, and the rebound hits him or Zuma and goes out for a corner. And then it was weird because they didn't even show it live because they were too busy showing the replay for the chance. And it come back, and all of a sudden, all the players are surrounding the referee. And I remember I said in the live stream, I don't know if he's just given a penalty. I was like, I'm trying to work out what's gone on. And it was, you know what? It was absolutely embarrassing.
It was.
West Ham have held the ball, and we've basically made sure, like a defensive team should do when you're defending a corner, you make sure you've got all your men where they need to be before you give that ball back. Because twice in the first half, Tottenham played quick corners and we didn't react to it. We got away with it. So, like, right, let's make sure we don't let them take the quick corner. So we get in position. And Zuma was just basically side-footed it to play it down the line to the... I don't know who's taking the corner. I'll be honest, I had no idea who it was. And he just clips it, literally side-footed, like a little sandwich, just clipped it down the line. And it essentially hit Son on the arse. And he takes 2 steps, looks over and sees that the West Ham player kicked it. And then he dropped to the floor like he'd been shot. And then everyone starts going absolutely mental. Everyone starts kicking off about it. And I think Anthony Taylor just even saw it himself. I think he waited to show it on the big screen. It's like, what are you talking about? Just play on with it. But that took about 3 minutes. Then they were arguing over something else happened in the box and he stopped play again. And then we had 2 subs coming on, so he was waiting for them. And that honestly probably took about 4 minutes to sort out.
Yeah.
Right. So we probably should have had double the amount of injury time. Not that it would have mattered in the end. Mm-hmm. But that happened. It comes to nothing. And then
it really did kill it though. But in the 50th minute, mate,
that 4 minutes.
Yeah.
We made 2 subs at that time.
Well, I was just about to say though, on that, you know, after that crazy 4 or 5 minutes, whatever, Moyes decided to make a move early doors, a lot earlier than what we're used to, and made a double sub, mate. And he brought off Antonio and Masuaku, brought on Fornals and Yarmolenko in the first kind of 5-10
did
minutes of that
work.
decision. What do you think?
Yeah. The first 10 minutes, 5-10 minutes, like you said, after they come on, it worked. We were on the ball. You know what? Let me retract that. It worked to an extent because we were seeing more of the ball.
Yeah.
We were spending more time in their half. However, I don't think Lloris made a save today.
No.
I know we scored a goal, so he did have to get the ball out of the back of the net, but I don't think he made a save. Tottenham essentially sat back, Conte style, with his like,
and
you're right. The fullbacks dropped to make it a back five. The wingers dropped to make it a midfield four.
But that decision,
Matt,
that decision was made from Antonio Conte from about the 55th, 60th minute.
Yeah.
That's when he decided to play that style of football. Yeah.
But once he saw that we brought the two attackers on and we were going to go for it, Italian style manager was like, right, we're not conceding. We're not going forward. We're not going to make this game wide open. So I said the fullbacks dropped back to make it a back five. The wingers made it a midfield four. Kane was up front on his own. He went, go on, break us down. And we huffed and puffed for about 10 minutes. We've no real... I mean, I think the only half chance I can remember was like a ball into Yarmolenko that he tried to flick, missed it, and it ricocheted, and then Benrahma nearly got in, but Lloris come and claimed the ball.
Yeah.
After that, it was a Conte masterclass. I'm not going to sit here and deny it. After about the 65th minute, we basically didn't see the ball again for 30 minutes. Like, we didn't. They would spend 3-4 minutes starting from the goalkeeper, going like all the way up to the right-hand side on the edge of the box, and then come all the way back to midfield to the halfway line, going all the way out to the left-hand side. They weren't even putting crosses in. They were getting in a position where you're like, right, cross the ball in.
Yeah.
But they were like, no, we don't need to score. We're in front. Very frustrating as an opposition fan, but tactical Italian, it's genius. Like, they just didn't do it. Absolutely. And then when we did get the ball, we were trying to play. Like, one time we won the ball back for 4 hours. And then, like, you know, Yarmolenko's playing high up against the two centre-backs, and he's tried to feed it into him first time. And then the ball went straight back to him. And it's like, we just haven't had the ball for 5 minutes, and we're trying to go like that, and it just didn't work.
And because because they were like happy to sit back and force West Ham to try and come forward, they were delighted to take the opportunity on the counter attack. And lo and behold,
which they were sort of creating half chances, weren't they? There was a few times.
Yeah, you know, there was a couple of chances. I think Kane got through from Højbjerg. He chipped the ball over the bar. And then Son got through. Reguilón got through a couple of times. Unfortunately for us, it was Reguilón that, you know, can't finish the ball. If it was Son, it would have happened. But literally minutes later, mate, Son broke free and
was
put the ball into the back.
But
Matt, hold on. Before you carry on, what I'm going to do for everyone in the chat, if you're interested in coming on and having a brief chat with myself and Matt, I'm going to put the link in the chat just now. It's going to be a 5-minute slot per person who wants to come on. Myself and Matt will close off the game, and then you can come on and have your opinion on it as well. So the link is in the chat just now. If you're interested, click that link. It will take you through some instructions. You just got to put your name in, and then you'll go into the green room behind the scenes. It's going to be 5 minutes. There is going to be a timer up. Once your opinion's gone, then we'll ask you if you don't mind to leave. So come on, have your point of view, get your point across, and have a discussion with myself and Matt regarding the game today. Hopefully you can all see that. Let me see it. I will go through the comments as well. Let me see. Is that definitely gone into the chat? I think it has.
Yeah, I can see it.
You can definitely see it.
Yeah, I can see it.
I'll put it in one more time just in case people can't see it. Yeah, there you go. So if you are interested in coming on, make sure you click that link, and that will bring you through to have a chat with myself and Matt as we go on into the game. What were you going to say, Matt?
It got to about the 75th, 78th minute, and we started getting the ball again. Like, we had a couple of corners, didn't we, that they dealt with quite well. And I was thinking, you know what, if we keep this up, if we can keep them quiet, because they were only hitting a couple of chances on the counter. For the most part, we were still going left to right, trying to work out an angle to get a ball in or slide one in. And then they scored. And they just finished the game. And I said at the time, I stand by it, it was absolutely shambolic. Like, it was, and you know what, I don't want to be too harsh, because the two of them, I think I saw a stat the other day that Dawson has actually played in the last 2 years, started more games for West Ham than any other defender. And bear in mind, he come in as a backup. But him, and I'm going to say, with no evidence whatsoever, that there was zero communication. It should not be rocket science when there's two defenders against one centre forward that you say one of you sits on the defender and one of you sweeps up.
Yeah.
It's Sunday League. Like, I done that as a kid. Like, one of you marks the centre forward. And like so, like in that situation, it's Harry Kane against Dalton and Zuma. For me, as the coach, I say, right, Dalton, you're marking Kane. You're the physical guy that likes dominating in the air. Zuma's mobile. So you compete with him, and Zuma, you sweep up. Right? And it is literally, I'm not joking, I think it's 5 touches. It's 4 or 5 touches from being in Lloris's hands to the back of the net. It's just one long punt down the pitch, Big Sam style.
Yep.
Kane wins the flick on against Dawson and Zuma because they both commit to the same header. Neither of them wins it. And then sometimes back 2 touches and puts it in the back of the net. Nothing Fabianski can do. Yep. I'm normally pretty critical of Fabianski most weeks. But you know what? I'm going to give him he's got no problems today. He lost 3-1.
Yeah.
He's had 2 deflected goals. His own goal and a deflection. Nothing to do either with one of them. Saved us on 2 1-on-1s. And then that one is just. And that was the end of the game. Like at that point, it was done. Like.
Well, listen.
I mean, it's just that just hammered home. And as I said, I would have taken a draw. I didn't lose, but Tottenham got the win. Thankfully, I don't think they're going to get top 4 either because I think Arsenal were too good. Personally, I think Arsenal
should have been 6-1.
Have been a juggernaut.
Matt, before you carry on, we do have our first guest coming on, and now this feels like a privilege because we've never heard. I don't think anyone's ever heard from this man. So we hope it's not a wind up, Mr. Butcher, but we will bring you on, mate. Mr. Frank Butcher, how you doing, mate?
Good evening, everyone.
Oh, yes. There, he does exist. He does exist. How you doing, mate? You okay?
I'm a real person. I'm not fictional. I'm real. I'm here in a pub.
Good man. Good man. Thank you for joining us, Mr. Butch. How's Pat?
No worries, mate. No, Pat's all right. She's having a nap. She had a few whiskies this afternoon, the old girl, so I mean, she couldn't handle it. I was watching the game. She couldn't handle it.
Oh, good man. Good man. Listen, what do you think of that then?
Oh, Anton, where do I start? Absolutely awful. Let me just say, Moyes got it all wrong today. All wrong. I mean, for a start, we should have, after the after the Sevilla game, we should have put Areola between the sticks, don't you think?
Yeah, I mean, I can see both points of view. I can see that, he, especially after the performance he had against Sevilla and that fantastic save and the consistency he's been shown as of late. But equally, though, I think Fabianski has been. But I can see why both sets of fans would push for one or the other. But I think it was, was Moyes going to make such a big decision against Spurs today? I don't think he would have. But then again, he made the big decision by not playing Fornals and putting Masuaku out on the wing-back position. I mean, what was your thoughts on Masuaku starting today, Frank?
Oh, he was awful. He's a one-hit wonder, that boy, isn't he? The Chelsea game, fantastic cross. But that was it. I mean, he was a chocolate teapot today, absolutely useless. Inflatable dartboard of a player.
Yeah, it was ridiculous. I mean, Matt, you kind of thought at the fact people are saying he says he's real. We want to see him. We can't see him.
No, my camera's not working today. I will next time. I'll be on next. I'll show me boat race next time.
All right, we're looking forward to that, Frank. Looking forward to that. But yeah, Matt, you kind of put it down to a bit of legginess and maybe Moyes trying to play some clever tactical decisions, but it just didn't work out for us. And unfortunately, the error came from him really in the first half.
Once they got that first goal, the game plan was out the window, and it was such a poor goal to give away from Masuaku. It wasn't even difficult. He just had to control the beast, just use a bit of strength. Stand in front of the ball, and the guy's got to run through you. Give a bit of strength, and he almost stood off to one side a bit and opened his body up to receive it on the turn. And Doherty's just gone nope, and then they scored. It was
so Frank on the back.
Moyes tries the plan, didn't work out.
On the back of this defeat, it's not a great defeat. That means Tottenham have gone 3 points ahead of West Ham, but we're still in the race for whatever you want to call it. How do we deal with this? We've got a big break coming up. We've got big quarterfinals coming up in Europa League. What does Moyes do with this squad over the next 2-week break? And how do we bounce back from a defeat like this against Tottenham?
Yeah, that's a tough one, Anton Mush, isn't it? I mean, to be honest with you, what I'm not liking at the moment is seeing Bowen on the bench. Do you know what I mean? Because he's our star man, isn't he? Like, we need him back in that starting 11. Without him, I don't know. It's going to be difficult, to be honest, because he's such a good player. Not to say that we ain't got other good players. Also, we've got the likes of Rice. You know, Ben Rama was all right today, to be fair. Lanzini can turn up 4 hours. But for me, without Bowen, I don't know. I feel like we're a bit like shadow of our normal selves. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, of course. I mean, he is a big loss to West Ham. And today, West Ham were trying some new things. And, you know, we saw Yarmolenko introduced a lot earlier in the game today. But what we did see from Yarmolenko was the Yarmolenko of 3 weeks ago, not the Yarmolenko of the last 2 weeks. Frank,
Yeah,
harsh?
exactly. No, you're right. Today weren't at the races, was it? I mean, fair play against Sevilla. He was obviously the hero, but to be fair to the lad, I think what's going on with him back home. Obviously, you know, he was on compassionate leave for a bit, wasn't he? So it's like mentally. I mean, I was shocked that he got that goal against Sevilla because mentally he must be shot to pieces. So, but to be fair, like if you leave everything else, all the politics aside, I don't think he's at a level that we need him to be in terms of fitness.
Nah.
What he does off the ball is not enough for me. He doesn't run enough. You look at his heat maps. I've got a better heat map moving around my kitchen. Do you know what I mean?
Don't round the Queen Vic.
Yeah, do you know what I mean? Running behind the bar and Yarmolenko. I'll probably put more yardage in 90 minutes behind the bar than he does. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, no,
I
don't
know. I don't think. Anton, can I ask you, mate? Do you think he'll be with us next season? Because I don't.
No, I don't think he will, mate. I mean, listen, I get excited when he does good stuff for West Ham. I get disappointed when he doesn't, but I'm more disappointed than I am excited. And I think when it comes to the Antonio situation as well, what frustrates me the most with Antonio, Frank, is that, and me and Matt were talking about this during the game. Like, I don't know what it is with him, why he tries to do these kind of quick touch balls, tries to get around the defender. Instead, what we want is, several times that ball came to him in what you would say the most ideal position he should be in. He should be guarding that ball, back to goal, using his strength, waiting for players to come in, play them off, and then attack. And when he does that, which is what he did against Sevilla, what he did against Aston Villa, he's unplayable. And then the minute he doesn't stop doing it, it becomes null and void. Fair play to Moyes, though. Moyes made the decision early doors to bring him off. But what do we do with the conundrum that is Antonio? Or we've not really got any other choice, do we? That's the problem.
Well, I want to turn the clock back to the first half of the season. I still remember that game he had at home. I think it was against Leicester. Do you remember that game?
Yeah.
And he was phenomenal. Like, I want that Antonio back. I don't know where he's gone, to be honest, because I looked there was a stat while I was watching the game today. 8 goals in something like 28 appearances in the Premier League.
Yeah.
Yeah, 28 appearances in the Premier League. For me, that's I guess
is that jumping?
Yeah, I can't. Cutting in.
Yeah, sorry, Frank, you're jumping in and out there. Well, I think we have lost you, Frank. I think we have lost you, mate.
His internet.
Yep.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, we got you back.
Oh, yeah.
We got you back. Yeah,
Oh,
go on, you go.
Yeah, no, I was just on my soapbox about Antonio. What I was saying, like, for me, he's got plenty of ability. He's obviously got physical attributes. He's a big, strong lad. He's far.
Uh-oh. I think we've lost you again, Frank.
Yeah.
Yep. If you want to jump back on, mate, you can re-click that link. That will might reset your settings on it, mate. What do you think then from what Frank's saying?
I think the Antonio thing, I do generally think he's just absolutely shattered. Like, you talk about the Antonio at the start of the season, but that was a fully fit, fully rested, fully in all guns blazing Antonio.
Yeah.
I don't have the number on top of my head, but I know he's played more games this season than he's played in any other season.
Yeah.
Like, already this season. See if I can find it quickly, but that doesn't surprise me. So when he says, "Oh yeah, we're knackered and he's not the same player from the start of the season," no, it's not, because he's played more games already than he has in any previous season. Let's see if I can find it.
While you're doing that, I'm going to go through some of the comments.
I think he's played 35 games this season.
Yeah. Frank has
If
pat
this one I've
you
just
again
looked at is
from
accurate, right?
Yep.
And to be fair, right, I know he said 8 in 28 doesn't sound good, but it looks like he's played 35 games, all competitions already this season. Scored and assisted, he's contributed 20 goals.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's the thing.
I know.
And that's what I said.
I
said to you back at Christmas. Moyes will say if he does that over the season, scores and assists,
yeah,
Moyes will be happy. If he contributes another 10 combined goals, and he contributes, scores, assists 30 goals in the season, Moyes will be over the moon. He'd be like, but it's games like today, like he was leggy. Yes, Yarmolenko didn't do much, but he's not the same player.
Let me jump through the chat.
Yarmolenko today.
Let me jump through the chat, Matt. See what everyone else is saying. Epic Hashtime saying I can't decide who had the worst performance, Fabianski or the referee. Matthew saying boys look tired, still good effort. Are any of you going to Lyon? I'm not going to Lyon. The prices are ridiculous.
Away? No, home game, yes.
Home game, yes. I'll be there as well.
Quickly on that about Lyon away. I don't know if you've seen some of the pictures in the last couple of days. I see a bloke. I don't know if it was EasyJet or if he was on like Sky Scanner.
Yes,
but he was in the middle of. Yeah, he was in the middle of buying his ticket from Lyon for his return. They'll jump from 350 quid to over £1,000 just because the football's on.
Yeah, you're right, mate.
I'm not being funny. Right. I'm not going, but if I was going, people, you know what? Fucking drive it.
Yeah.
Just drive. I don't know where you can get on the channel.
Drive it. Like, have you seen the prices of diesel? No, I'm just saying for anyone. I've seen the prices of bloody diesel right now. You'd end up spending more than that.
It'll still be cheaper than like £1,000. Because I think that's £1,000 each.
Mate,
yeah, but think, if there's 4 of you going,
you're nearly £2 a litre. Yeah, I know.
Like,
Vinay Declan Rice is saying, I don't mind losing a match of football, but not against Tottenham. Vinay saying, team was tired. I was expecting this. How did Antonio as a lone striker go? Frank, obviously, you've been on. Bernie said, I said in January we'd be finished 8th in the league. The season hangs on Lyon game. We was poor today. Peter Jones.
I think 7th is still there. I think 6th is still there. And you know what? I said this early in the season. I did kind of get hounded out for it. I said 7th wouldn't be a bad season.
Yeah.
When was the last time, right, we had back-to-back top 8 finishes?
We haven't. For a long time.
So what do we always say, right? If we can get like a top half finish and a cup run, we'll be happy.
Yeah.
We are in the quarterfinals of the Europa League.
Yeah.
Quarterfinals.
Yeah.
With a very realistic chance of getting to the semis.
And today was a hangover performance, mate. It wasn't the West Ham that we're used to watching. And that's the thing. That's what.
Then,
as much as it's shit, but as much as it's shit performance today, as long as we don't consistently see that, and I don't think we will consistently see that.
Most of the squad has now got like a 2-week break, right? Yeah. So get your legs up. But look at the reason I say look at the goals. The third goal was diabolical, right? But the rub of the green on the first 2 goals, if they don't go in, if we get the rub of the green on them goals, it finishes 1-1.
Yeah.
If buts, ands, maybes, if Martin was uncle, whatever. But 9 times out of 10, 49 times out of 50, that ball across the box, when the centre forward misses it, the centre back misses it and it runs across the 6-yard box.
Yeah.
How, with Zuma falling over, it hits like the underside of his leg and goes up and over Fabianski. And then that shot from Son. Normally, when the defender throws the leg out like that, it hits the shin pad, it goes up and over the crossbar.
Yeah.
It's the exact angle needed to get that top spin to go up and over Fabianski.
Yeah, you're right.
And we were leggy. Look, I'm frustrated, but you know what? On the whole, the score flattered Tottenham. Tottenham deserved to win. I thought the 2-1 was fair. I thought that was a fair effort on the game, but it's the lack of options. And we've said this since the start of the season. We knew at some point the 19-man squad was going to hammer us, and today was one of them days. But
yeah,
if I said to you on Monday after we beat Villa, we can beat Seville and go through the quarterfinals, but you're going to lose to Tottenham on Sunday. It's one of the only times I would take the loss to Tottenham.
Trying to wait up in it.
I would.
Matt, I'm going to have to stop you, Matt. I'm going to stop you for a minute because I need to get through some of these comments. Peter Jones says people say no business in the January window was good business match, as today proves. It was a good football business. Garino says, glad to see Sunner survived the horrific assault on him by the ball and the ref twat. Trini saying, can't believe we still have support singling out players. Defeats like this are on Moyes and his dithering, not buying anyone and not using the kids. What do you think, Matt?
Look, we've said the players were knackered. They just flat out were. The only player that I would say gets any criticism, rightly so, is Masuaku, because he wasn't knackered and he offered absolutely nothing for 55 minutes. Fornals, who played 120 minutes, 115 minutes Thursday, offered more in the last half an hour than Masuaku did for 55 minutes. Yeah, we can sit there and go back to the adage of we need fresh players. However, Yarmolenko did play up front in the second half, and he never saw the ball. Like, doesn't matter who you got up front if he never sees the ball. If the ball never goes into his feet, it doesn't really matter, does it? I mean, and that was the problem. And that's what I said to you. Like, Tottenham game management kept the ball for very long periods, and then when we got it back, we felt basically it was almost like we felt we had to play it quick because they'd had the ball for so long. We had to rush to make something out of the chance that we got the ball back.
Yeah.
And invariably, we ended up giving the ball back to Tottenham. People can say Yarmolenko had a bad game, but he barely had the ball. Like, he barely saw the ball. We spent the majority of the second half chasing shadows, trying to get Tottenham's ball back from Conte's. I'm just going to go one length of the pitch, all the way to the back, all the way up the other side, all the way back, and just keep the ball.
Yeah.
That's just, for me, it's good. It's phenomenal game management. You can draw that into your players. I wouldn't back us to be able to do that, but Tottenham done it and contained the game, and maybe the legs were part of it. But it's what it is. I mean,
I think we've sorted out the problem with the link. So if anyone's interested in jumping in, having a chat with myself and Matt about the game, very briefly, 5 minutes each, click the following link that I'm putting in the chat. Please click the link. I'm just putting it in just now for you. If you're interested in joining, just click that link I've put in there. We had Mr. Frank Butcher on earlier on, but we had a bit of a problem, but we think we have resolved it now. So if you are interested in coming on, get your 5 minutes say with him. Why not? Frank Butcher is saying crying out for Bowen's return. Time to say goodbye to Fabianski from Hammerhead. Mark Thomas is saying, well, may sound like a broken record, but we all know that not strengthening in January was going to bite us in the arse. We need to get at least 7th this season for it not to be a disappointment. David says Moyes out, fought by Conte. Fab the statue. Peter Jones says that game today proves that no business in the January transfer window was bad business for football, good business for Sullivan. Garino saying got the formation wrong first half. Thursday caught up with us. Creswell played them onside twice, but we should not have played the high line. Long Dark Tunnel said it was 2 on goals. Didn't know Ajax were. Oh God, Crosshammer Fab has made some great saves. Still, he's getting on, although so was that Italian keeper. Long Dark Tunnel, Masuaku was so bad he had to go for 3 to a back 5. David saying Moyes at fault for not buying. English Yardy says greedy 6. Moyes must understand you've got to spend money. I hate Spurs. This hurts. Moyes must be real and honest with his evaluation of the team to break up greedy 6. Spend money. Let's bring on our next guest, and you'll all recognize him. It's Budgie from Green Street Elite. If you're interested, going across to the Green Street Elite YouTube channel and, of course, subscribe. Budgie, mate,
hello,
3-1, disappointing, mate. Give us your thoughts.
Disappointing. That's an understatement. Honestly, Anton, that's a real understatement. I felt that at points of the game we could have controlled the game, but we really were lackluster in the forward areas. We didn't press when we could have done. I just felt that we weren't really up for the game. That's how I felt. You know,
it didn't have that typical West Ham, London derby Spurs feel about it, but it really did have what it really did have was the hangover from a massive.
I was going to say, was it the hangover from Thursday?
Yeah, it certainly was. And hello Matt, by the way. I haven't spoken to you for ages, so hi. I just felt that I felt that the setup was wrong. Starting off with a 5-2-3 or whatever it was that we set out with, I felt that was completely the wrong formation. He should have carried on where we left off on Wednesday with the 4-3-3, which really worked well, which really gave us an edge, I felt, on Thursday night. I didn't feel that we had an edge at all today. not at all. I felt that we were chasing the game from minute one, which really isn't what we're used to be fair. Well, we're kind of used to having the game chase us, as it were.
I think
I just felt, go on, sorry.
No, I was just want to address this comment from Victor. He's saying, sorry, but some fans are talking like we're getting relegated. I mean, I'll be brutally honest here. I don't, for me, it's not like that. It's like I feel defeat worse now than I did 2 or 3 years ago, because we're so consistently doing all right and playing well and challenging teams. I think there was some of the fan base probably already thought that we would have a hangover today. And I think the decision to play Masuaku and have Fornals on the bench maybe could have solidified that decision in the West Ham heads. And it was backed up on the park. I don't want to single out one player. It's not nice to do that. I'm not a big fan of that. But equally, though, defensively, he doesn't have what we think Moyes is looking for. However, has something that Moyes wants, because Moyes sticks with him. But he lost the ball in a dangerous area, and they punished West Ham for that decision. Now, and Victor, I'm not depressed. I'm depressed over the loss, because it's like, oh shit, Tottenham have beat us. Oh shit, they've gone 3 points ahead of us. When we know as fans we can play a lot better. So, you know, I'm appreciative of the position we're in. I'm very appreciative of that, 100%. But I can be disappointed, and I am disappointed today. Sorry, Budgie, on you go, mate.
No. Honestly, a valid, very, very valid point, Anton. And obviously, I agree with that, because I feel that if we have applied ourselves a little bit more tactically than we did, we may well have been able to control the game a little better. I felt that we lost control of the game as soon as we didn't man mark Son, which was a massive mistake in my opinion. We allowed him, too much space, and I also said in our group chat that that Harry Potter was getting too much. Harry Kane, obviously, was getting too much space and too much time on the ball, which he really did. He got far too much time on the ball. I mean, with a player like Harry Kane, you know the strength of the guy. You've got to have at least one decent defender on him, if not two. And we just failed to do that. At times it looked like we had two on him, but there were at the times when we really didn't need to. And I felt that at times of real importance, we kind of lacked the drive to control the game. I'm very, very disappointed with the performance today. Very disappointed with it.
I've brought this comment up here from Trini. He says, if we had a bigger squad, we win that game today, because to me as a game went on, the Spuds looked tired too and nervous. But for me, away from that, defensively, they ain't great. And defensively, we could have really got at them. And we saw that when Antonio turned their defense, Kane played the ball back, Antonio nipped in. He tore to shreds Doherty, and he shot wide. But for me, I kind of, is there traction in what that statement says there, Budgie, from Trini?
Yeah, of course there is. I mean, look, we're used to ups and downs as West Ham supporters, and I think disappointment is part of our mainstay, really, as fans. But over the last couple of years, we've been spoilt with great performances, brilliant results, fantastic league positions, and we've been kind of spoilt with that. And as a result of that, I think we've become a little bit complacent with where we deserve to be in the league. Now, for me, we're solidly a top 10 team every year, and I really truly believe that. Our performances don't always give us a top 10 position, but I feel that, as a sort of general outlook of where West Ham should be, we should never be outside of the top 10, in my opinion. We're kind of victims of our own success in some ways.
Yeah.
I think that, players like, look, Ben Rama had a really good game today. I thought he was close to being, West Ham's man of the match. And I don't generally say that about him because I feel that there's something in his game that's always missing. Tonight, I didn't feel really that there was a lot missing from his game. He got himself a goal. He got himself, in positions where, he could affect the game. I didn't think he affected the game as well as he could. But, in general, I think it was a bit of a lackluster performance from 80% of the team tonight. It really, I think the only two players that really excelled in their position for me, was Fabianski. I thought he kind of solidified why he's our number one.
Well, and on that, that's why I've brought this comment up here from Trini. He says, sorry, I rate Areola over Fabs because he comes off the line more than he would not have stopped any of the first two goals. So, what, go on?
Yeah. Going by, Fabianski's style of play and everything, he didn't really do a lot wrong tonight. Yes, 2 goals went past him, and they could have been avoided. But to be fair, I'm talking about the first 2 goals, not the last goal. The first 2 goals that went past him, I feel could have been avoided had Zuma have been a little sharper. I felt that Zuma was definitely at blame for the second goal. You can't blame him for the first goal, the own goal, I don't think, really, because he was just trying to prevent the ball from going into the box, etc. That was just, he was a victim of circumstance in the first goal. But the second goal, he could have done a heck of a lot more. And yeah, for the first time since he's arrived at West Ham, I think, I think I'm justified in criticising Kurt Zuma. I don't think he had a great game tonight.
No, I agree with you. I do agree with you, Budgie, mate. I actually noticed very quickly that he started playing some terrible balls to his teammates and balls that were trickling just to Dawson, trickling just to Creswell, putting him under a heavy amount of pressure.
Not enough meat on him.
And when him and Dawson go up for the header that's then flicked on for Son, who's through on goal. It's just lack of communication. And at that point, you can, if you're Moyes, you do tear into I'm trying to think who had the right to head that ball. I can't think. I need to look back at the thing. But what you're doing is you're buying in the central
geographically, Dawson was closer.
Well, and that's the thing, though. So, you buy in a central defender who comes with this. And listen, of course, they're more than entitled to make mistakes as players do. But for something so bread and butter, that can lead to such an easy and simple goal for the opposition, and add to that his performance for the first part of the game. Was there anything in the crowd's attitude towards him? Because I did notice today, more than I've noticed over the last couple of weeks, that the crowd were on top of Zuma. Terrorizing.
I actually said in our group chat, Anton, that this is getting boring now.
Yeah.
Look, Adam Johnson was accused and found guilty of rape, went to prison. You don't hear the man's name ever at the moment. All you keep hearing is Zuma kicked the cat. He didn't even bloody kick it. He lobbed it. And there's a major difference. There was no impact injury.
The worst bit is, right,
but anyway,
is that while this is going on,
go on, Matt.
While this is going on, Joey Barton's just been done for kicking his wife in the head.
Yeah.
Where's that in the media?
Yeah. Right. Exactly. Where is it?
She had a lump the size of a tennis ball on her head because he booted her in the head.
Yeah.
And he's just been done in
I
court.
mean, there's been the Greenwood thing. Yeah, I don't mean to kind of harp on this woe is me kind of attitude, but I do think that the media and the general feeling is that we don't deserve the place that we actually do deserve. I mean, look, we're quarter finalists in the Europa competition. That is a major achievement for a club like West Ham. I mean, what is it, 41 years since we've been in this position? Look, come on, we can't stress enough how important this is to the club. And obviously there are the people that control the media or that are influential within the media that aren't West Ham supporters and don't want to see West Ham do well, and create this negative media whitewash of West Ham, and there's a lot of that to blame for why we don't get the credit that we deserve. We've done something really, really incredible this last 10 days. We've beaten the holders of that competition. That's not the first time we've done it this season either, lads.
Yeah.
We took Man City's hands off of the Carabao Cup, and we've taken Sevilla's hands off of the European competition, the Europa League. That is no mean feat. Come on, we need to bask in the glory of what we've achieved this year. Even if we don't go any further, we've had a massive year.
Yeah,
in my opinion.
Huge year. Budgie, mate, listen, it's been an absolute pleasure you jumping on again. If anyone doesn't know, Budgie's got his own channel, Green Street Elites. Hit the subscribe, go and check it out over on YouTube. Hit the subscribe button to his channel as well. Budgie, mate, take it easy. Hopefully we'll get you back on soon. We're doing a lot more of this.
Thank you so much for inviting me on, guys, and
no worries, mate.
Pleasure to see you. Shame it weren't better circumstances.
No,
but, hey,
absolutely, mate. But the only way is up, mate. The only way is up. Come on, you.
It's the only way we know. Come on, you.
Cheers, Budgie.
Take care, guys.
Matt, I mean, that really brings an end to our review for tonight. Big winter break, big 2-week break, Easter break. Give me your brief thoughts, what we do and how we bounce back from this.
It just literally is that. Someone's put in the chat a minute ago that if we didn't have Europa League, we'd have won today. See if I can find it. If I think it was in recent comment. Rondo attack. If we didn't play on Thursday night, we'd have won today. Yeah, we would have. Because they didn't. We weren't at the races. Like, Tottenham were deserving to win, but we never turned up. We were just chasing shadows from the off. But I said to you, you know what? It shows you how far Moyes has taken this team. That I'm no longer bothered that we lost to Tottenham. Yeah. Like, especially in the last 5, 6, 7 years, it's just been our thing of we've had relegation battles, but if we beat Tottenham and stay up, that's a highlight for the season. The game today was sort of second nature. Moyes committed everything into the game on Thursday night, proven by the fact that we could have had 6 subs, he only made really 1, and then the last couple come on for the last couple of minutes. Moyes essentially played 9 of our starting 10 for 115 minutes. Yeah. Tottenham deserve to win. Yeah. Rubber the green. If Zuma doesn't deflect that cross in, if it doesn't hit his leg, might have finished 1-1.
Yep.
But we're a leggy team. We're a small squad, and we've got a European game to worry about.
A leggy team, a small squad. We've got European leg to worry about. We've got a 2-week break. Let's put our heads down. Let's get together as a team, because this team is a special team. They're more than capable of getting over this result, and plan ahead, because Moyes will be all over it, mate. He will be all over it. Listen, everyone, thank you very much for joining us. That's bringing an end to our review. It's been a tough one today. I've got some stats for you before we go, though. West Ham have lost more Premier League London derbies than any other side, 109, 25 of them of which have come against Spurs. Spurs are the first Premier League side to benefit from 6 own goals in a single season since Swansea in the 2013-14 season. Saeed Benrahma's 6th Premier League goal of the season came courtesy of a West Ham corner, our 10th in the division this campaign. Only Liverpool, who have got 12, can match this tally of the English top flight. West Ham's consolation goal in the first half means West Ham have now scored exactly 500 Premier League goals from away from home, the 10th different side to reach this tally. With his 2 this afternoon, Tottenham's Harry Kane has now assisted 19 Premier League goals since the start of last season, the outright most of any player, moving clear off of Trent Alexander-Arnold and Bruno Fernandes. And Tottenham striker Harry Kane is now involved in 50 goals in Premier League London derbies, 39 goals, 11 assists, just the 3rd player to reach that milestone. The Premier League, though, it sits... I'm just trying to see if I can bring it up for you. If it's coming up here, it is. Just give me 2 seconds. I will bring this Premier League table up for you before we do head. It's there. And as you can see, is it on?
Yep.
Yeah. Man City sits with 70 points. Liverpool second with 69 points. Chelsea with 59 points, 28 games played. Arsenal, 28 games played, 54 points. And they have got a 6-point gap on West Ham with 2 games in hand. Tottenham have got a game in hand. They've got a 3-point gap open up against West Ham. But Tottenham and Arsenal have each other to play, don't they?
That is Tottenham's game in hand, is the Arsenal game.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
absolutely. Yep. We've got plenty of time, lads. No need to panic. No need to panic. 8 Premier League games to go, and however many games we're going to get in the Europa League. And Cockney Buccaneer is saying we are safe. That is exactly what we are. Not even angry with the loss, respected as we were shattered. Listen, thank you very much for joining us, and stay tuned tomorrow. There'll be plenty of content coming out. We'll keep you updated what's going on over the break as well. So stay safe and keep the faith. Come on, you beautiful, beautiful Irons, mate. Come on, you Irons.